Ngayon, kababayan ng LA, bukas po ang aming mga linya ng telepono para maserbisyohan kayo. Libreng konsulta po sa ating mga kababayan kumpanyera ngayong hapon. Attorney Alison Aquino, Criminal Defense Lawyer, and Attorney Karina Castañeda, Criminal Defense Lawyer, and Attorney Alison Aquino, Immigration Lawyer. Sila po ang ating mga kasama ngayong hapon. Kasama po yung mga tanong nyo. Ang ating mga viewers are starting to call now. We are getting so many calls, so kung hindi kayo makapasok, please just be patient with us. Let's start with Boy, joining us from Eagle Rock. Magandang hapon sa iyo, Boy.
Magandang hapon sa iyo, Janelle. Magandang hapon po sa mga attorney natin ngayong araw na to.
Yes.
Ang tanong ko po, after panonood po ng news, matagal na po yung problema sa Arizona. Ngayon, ang Costa Mesa apparently wants the same law sa kanilang lugar. Is there a reason for us Filipinos na either may problema sa papeles na wag pumunta ng Arizona and Costa Mesa for that matter? And my second question is, kung sakasakaling mahuli kami, can they criminalize yung ibang mga nangyari sa amin para siguraduhin ma-deport kami?
Thank you. First question.
Yes. In that regards, Boy, it does become very difficult because the Arizona law as well as the California law, or actually the Costa Mesa law, makes it a crime for anyone who is not lawful in the United States. So while I certainly would not suggest that individuals live in fear, unfortunately, there are now laws that do, prevent individuals or do encourage individuals to live in fear. And unfortunately,
but, let's clarify that. The law in Arizona, can they just question you just because they want to question you? You don't look the same, or there has to be an infraction, and then they can question you along with that?
After all the uproar, they did amend the law in order to clarify that there needed to be some type of other infraction or violation that would then allow the police to question you. And if during that course of questioning on a criminal matter, they have a reasonable suspicion in believing that the individual is undocumented here in the U.S., then they can go ahead and inquire as to your immigration status.
Okay. Do you fans now asking because of that law in Arizona?
SB 11080 in Arizona is based, it's the law under in terms of the reasonable suspicion, right? That's the standard of proof. For example, if you're driving and you make a U-turn, okay, on an illegal, that's an infraction. They then can stop you and proceed. That's where the line of demarcation starts. They can then proceed to inquire about your immigration status.
And living in fear now, Alison, you were talking about that. That can happen now in Costa Mesa because they're talking about that. So hopefully, I think tomorrow on the show we'll have more clarification about that. But for now, you may also call anonymously. Kung ayaw pong ibigay yung pangalan nyo, that's fine too. Anonymous caller from Mission Viejo. Magandang hapon sa'yo.
Ay, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat dyan.
Yes. Ano po ang tanong?
Ang tanong ko ay tungkol sa immigration para kay Attorney Aquino. When I was still a permanent resident, and that was March of 2006, I petitioned my son, who is below 21, over 18 and below 21. So the preference category is under F2A. Now, we got an approval for this by the INS, and so he was issued an approval, and the priority date is like 17 March 2006. So as of now, this preference category has been reached already. So I wrote the National Visa Center that under this petition, the preference, the priority date has already been reached.
Okay.
And then sumagot ang NPC that since my son has outaged, meaning
Sir,
more.
Sorry po. Can we? So your son is overage, right? Is that the question?
Nalagpasan na yung but
okay.
Na-approve ito under F2A. So lumagpas ng 21, binabago ngayon, ginagawang F2B.
All right. Thank you.
The law?
Yeah, thank you so much for that call. Go ahead, Alison.
Yes, under the law, when a petition is filed, just because the child is under 21, that does not preserve the child's age as being under 21. In that particular case, the child turned 21 before the priority date was reached.
Right.
And as a result, it is an automatic conversion from the F2A over to the F2B category. It's a longer wait under the F2B category.
Oh.
Now, with that said, however, there are some situations where the child can still retain that F2A category.
There is hope. Let's
Yes,
talk about that when we return on the show. We have to pause for a few reminders. Also, more phone calls when we return. You may call anonymously, so keep those calls coming in.